Yes, Junhui and Judd represent the future of snooker. They're both under the age of 25 and they've both already won ranking titles. They possess the type of talent that could see them dominate the sport for years to come. Yesterday, they embarked on their first semi-final at the Betfred.com World Championship and they came out swinging. Each produced a century in the first two frames, Trump edging that breathless first session 5-3. The second session didn't quite reproduce the relentless pace of the first, but it proved dramatic nonetheless.
Remember now, we're playing the best of 33. Oh, well, they started yesterday.
That was a little careless.
Nicely played. There was pressure on that. Well, that was cute. Absolutely beautiful. Boy, has he played this well. He doesn't kiss the ground. This is perfect. Where's the red going? Well, unbelievable.
And what a body blow this will be for Dean fans.
Well, just driving. Neither player will be pleased with the performance in the first four frames.
He's got everything, this young man. Dean starting to motor a little bit. Wow. Where's the blue going? Where's the blue going? How many flukes can you have in one session? Well, what a topsy-turvy frame, possibly the most exciting frame of the match. In the old square, that's 7-all. I'm slightly concerned at the moment for Judd.
And just this pink, and he goes in front. It's not happening for Judd.
Very, very good. Junhui wins a session 6-2 and goes 9-7 in front.
Well, I suppose at some point, Steve, you're going to have a sticky session at the Crucible, and Judd had his this morning.
Yes, and if a player is going to go on to win the World Championship, it's how you cope with a session like that. From Judd's perspective so far, he'd only been getting affirmation of how good he was. That was his first negative thoughts, so he's had a time to regroup with his friends and family, and let's see what he comes out with tonight.
I suppose if there's one session to have that's bad, it's the second one.
Yes, in a four-session match, which would be probably the first time Judd's ever played a four-session match, you've got time to recover from that. But obviously, you know, he's 9-7 down against a very good front run in Junhui, so he's got to come out all guns blazing again tonight.
I was going to say, what are you expecting?
Well, I think Junhui is the finished article for me. He's ready to win the World Championship. Not saying Judd isn't, but as I said, he's a good front runner and he does know how to capitalise on other people's weaknesses. So it's going to be an interesting session, but I do feel that Junhui is going to be very strong tonight. So from Judd's perspective, he's going to be equally as strong.
OK, Steve, thanks very much. Time for the players to come out with our MC, Rob Walker.
Thanks, guys. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's Friday night. We're in Sheffield, and this is the climax of day 14 at the Betfred.com World Snooker Championship. Two of the brightest young prospects in the game, waiting backstage, waiting to edge closer to the sport's ultimate prize. Please welcome a player who is in the form of his life. His attacking, positive style has won him a new army of fans here at the Crucible. He's barely put a foot wrong in the last 2 weeks, and tonight we really get to see what he's made of. The China Open champion, the ace in the pack, Judd Trump. And his opponent, the Chinese sensation, who's been playing the best snooker we've ever seen from him here in Sheffield, bidding for his first appearance in a Crucible final, winner of 4 ranking event titles in all. He's the reigning Masters champion. He's carrying the hopes of a nation on his shoulders. Ladies and gentlemen, enter the dragon, Ding Junhui!
Well, all tournament, the question mark hanging over the eye-catching progress of Judd Trump has been how will he react when someone puts him under pressure? Ding has certainly done that. Will Judd rise to the occasion, or will he wilt in the heat of the Crucible? Let's find out with our commentators Ken Doherty and Willie Thorne. Good evening, boys.
Good evening, Rishi. Good evening, everybody. And this is the session that you can stamp your authority on the semi-final. Judd Trump, we always talked about what happens when he had a nightmare session. He had that nightmare session this afternoon, but still managed to win 2 of the 8 frames, which still puts him well in this match at 9-7. All he has to do is win this session to be virtually level going into tomorrow's final session. Both these players have never been to a final, Ken. You have. It's a very special place.
It is a special place, Willie, and what a fantastic atmosphere we have in here tonight. Both players getting a fantastic reception. And it must be great for both of them. Very exciting times in their lives. Prospect of getting into the final of the World Championship at stake.
Well, we've got some very interested spectators this evening. Straight from the royal wedding there. William on the right, Prince Charles in the middle, and the Queen. I hope you had a nice day, William, and many congratulations.
Where's Kate?
Well, Ding's just wondering, obviously, the people have got the earpieces in, and obviously we've made them laugh, which is not what we should be doing at the semi-final day, but it was the first shot. Please forgive us, Ding, and hopefully it's not going to make any difference to this particular shot.
It's great to see Ding actually, you know, he's starting to express himself now, isn't he, Willie? You know, a little bit over the last 12 months, he's started to come out of his shell, started to smile and interact with the crowd.
Well, his English, in fairness, is improving as well, Ken, isn't he? You can have a conversation with him now. Obviously, before spoke very little English.
Loose safety shot from Judd Trump. First chance to Ding Junhui. Couple of reds he can go at. This red into the right hand corner pocket, and also this into the left. He's rewarded with a nice kiss on the blue. But for that kiss on the blue, he probably would have been in balk and not had a shot. But you can put the blue into this corner pocket. You just got to try and avoid yellow on the way back. If he comes off the ball cushion, there's his pot success rate. 92 is quite high for Ding. 87 has dropped a little bit for Judd.
Yes, obviously that's one of the reasons why he had a particularly poor session. The fact that he wasn't knocking the long ones in. The other reason was the afternoon safety wasn't, sorry, the morning safety wasn't up to scratch, and that's one thing he has to compete with Ding. We know he can compete with him in the break building department,
6,
but he has to compete in the safety, and today he hasn't as yet.
Yeah, if you can get the cue ball somewhere around that circle, A couple of reds will go into this bottom right hand corner pocket. Looks just about perfect.
10. $11.
I think the bottom red of those two goes into the right hand corner pocket, and they may even be a plant into this left corner pocket. Ding just having a quick glance. And there you see, it's not dead set, but you can easily make that.
He may have to play for the plant or even into the pack if that bottom red doesn't pot in the opposite corner. Well, that tells us it definitely does, and so and he's purposely finished low, which is Ding is undoubtedly one of the game's great bait builders now. He never misses a trick. He's purposely left it low
18.
so he can bring a few reds into play. Two ways of playing it: either force it through, or if he screws back, he could flick off the one just above it and the pack and still get onto the black. Just keep an eye on the cue ball. Just to put it directly off the one above it.
Yes, very well controlled, wasn't it? Perfect angle on the black as well. Didn't use a lot of pace, didn't have to. Again, he can play a little cannon into the three reds just right above the black and still be on this red. There you see the little cannon, bringing them into play, and that's another excellent shot. Didn't have to play this, but
26.
thought it was a big enough target to hold the cue ball, and that loosened another couple of reds out to the open.
27.
And all of a sudden, from one long pot, this could be a chance to win the frame at this visit. Steve Davis said
34.
today, I think Junhui is possibly one of the best front runners we have in the game. Once he gets his nose ahead, he can become quite relentless.
$35.
Yes, the worrying thing, Judd led 7-4 with breaks of 31 and 49, and since that 11th frame he hasn't made a break above 30. Now obviously to get back into the match he's going to have to start scoring. We know he's a fabulous scorer and he's played some wonderful shots here this week at the Crucible. He's going to have to start playing them now. This match could run away from him if he doesn't just get a couple of frames on the board. Anything better than 4-4 he'd be
43.
reasonably happy with going into tomorrow's final session. Slightly gone astray. The bottom red will still pot, but obviously he played a lot
50.
thicker kiss on the first ball to hold the white, and just the fact that he could half ball on the right hand side made that white push through. I'd still expect him to pot this. May decide to play up for the blue rather than hold for the pink or black. Just got to be careful. The red on the left hand side cushion naturally will go around the back of that one. Needs to be a little bit harder. And he just got round it.
1.
Well, he looks to be putting top on this. I don't know how he's going to miss the kiss on the green if he puts top on. Well, he did judge it nicely. It looked like it was going to cannon into the green on that line, but he's played that very well. If he'd have caught it slightly thicker, I'm sure he'd have kissed the green.
56.
So look how close he gets to the green. Well, only half an inch, wasn't it? So well judged. The lead 56. 3 more reds and colours. He'll open a 3-frame lead.
57.
Deep screw, the red in the open into the bottom right hand corner pocket. Watch the cue ball here, and he hasn't hit it hard enough, and that could be end of break. I don't think this bottom red goes.
64.
It's very close. Just didn't get into that now. That doesn't pot.
Might be able to pot it with a little bit of left hand side, Ken, but it's very, very lucky because he's played, like you said, a foot further than that.
Be very risky, wouldn't it, to try that, because if you see, he wanted to get a little bit more side spin on the cue ball just to miss the pink and be on that loose red into the same pocket as he's just potted the black.
He'd be reluctant, Ken, to move this red, wouldn't he? But there's no easy safety shot apart from off that red. I'd like to leave that there, wouldn't you? 64 in front with only 75 on. That red's virtually safe.
Unless he tries to put it on the opposite cushion, the opposite, right in a line. Well, he's just chipped it onto the cushion. That's pretty good.
Junhui.
That's a little bit of insurance for him, and he's pretty happy with his first contribution. He's got a 64-point lead. There you see it, 64 ahead. 175 remaining, and Judd Trump immediately taking that safe red off the cushion. He's a little bit unlucky there, it has to be said. It's just off straight, this red, so he's okay.
A little bit of pressure right there, isn't there? I mean, look where the reds are now. If he happens to slightly catch this thick or maybe thin in trying to get onto a colour, the long pot success rate is better by Judd. So Ding's been missing virtually 1 in every 2. This is one I wouldn't expect him to miss, but you never know. Potted it thick, but it went in. I'm surprised at that speed. As you see here, when he plays it again, potted off the left-hand jaw. So that was frame ball. So Ding's run continues. This will be 6 frames on the trot.
6.
Possible plant here, but we'll be concentrating on safety, getting the cue ball back to balk. Well, very good shot.
7.
Excellent pot. There's a lot of distance between those reds.
I just wonder whether Judd will come and have a little bit of practice in this frame. Maybe he's decided, no, he's not going to decide to come back for a shot. So Ding Junhui, break of 64 was a catalyst to take a further frame and go further clear at 10-7.
Well, a couple of significant things now at play in this match now, guys. First of all, Stephen, you mentioned it at the top of the show, Ding an excellent front runner. The other is, what would happen when Judd comes under pressure? At the moment, the answer is he's not finding a lot, but there's a long way to go.
There is, but in the next sort of few frames coming along, you'd like to see him win 2 out the next 3, maybe, just to sort of settle him down. At the moment, it's looking a little bit dodgy for him, and I think Steve made a very good point when he said about Ding. He is a really strong front runner, and if he starts, you know, getting ahead of steam up, he could run away here.
Steve, from your perspective, the fact that Ding has started impressively in this session, which we know is such an important session, At the moment, are you starting to worry for Judd Trump?
Well, in as much as Ding Junhui has won the Masters in the UK, and in my opinion is ready to win the World Championship, you've got a far more experienced player than you would than the player that sort of really collapsed against Ronnie O'Sullivan in the Masters. All of a sudden, he seems to be finding the confidence, and he did suffer in this particular match sort of a tough start, and he's weathered his storm. It's whether Judd can weather the storm now.
Question that all Judd Trump fans will hopefully get a positive answer to in this frame.
Well, pretty good break off from Judd Trump. Tight on the ball cushion. Almost forcing Ding into maybe taking this red on. He can get the outside of this red down the line of the blue, but there's a possible in off. This is view from Hawkeye. I mean, there you can see the outside of that red down the left hand side of the table as Ding looks, but he's got to be so exact with that position safety shot. This is a dangerous pot to take on. He's a little bit reluctant to let Judd Trump in early. He knows he has him on the ropes at the moment. He doesn't want to give him an easy opportunity to get his hand in on the table and score a few points and get a little bit of confidence back. So
Fail and a miss. Judd Trump 6.
yes, a miss called, but he'd be relieved that he didn't catch that pink full ball, because Judd would have had an easy opening red here into the bottom left hand corner pocket. So got to make sure he hits the red here, because he only gets 3 attempts when you can see a ball on. Otherwise he'll be warned.
Definitely okay this time. Was it Davis who lost a frame against you in the Masters, Irish Masters? What happened?
Well, he missed a full ball on 3 times, and it was the final frame of the match, and lost the match. Not only the frame, but the match.
You always have been lucky.
I was very disappointed. Not easy bridging over the reds, and nicely on the black.
Eight. Nine.
Remember I mentioned earlier, Judd hasn't had a contribution above 30, so this is the best chance he's had for quite some time. I saw him in the practice room just before the evening session. He looked to be cueing really well, looked to be got his normal confidence back, and that's the only thing that's been missing. And this afternoon, this kind of shot where he should just play for a loose red, he's gone into the pack at pace and relied on luck. I just wonder whether he's going to play it this time. So whenever you play at that pace, you're just relying on luck, and as it happens this time, he's had some. He's got one in the middle.
60.
That's another good pot. Made nice contact on that red, didn't he? To stay on the blue. I feel he just needs to get a good break here, Willie, just to get that bit of confidence back that he showed all the way through this championship so far.
Yes, a frame-winning break would be handy, Ken, wouldn't it? Not since the opening frame when he made 100 break. Has he had a break above 60? So he just really needs to win a frame at one visit to get that confidence back, and this is a good chance to do just that.
He's just overscrewed that by some, possibly about 6 inches. He's blessed with tremendous cue power. I've seen a lot of examples of that over the last 10 days or so.
Little surprised with the fact that he can play very well right-handed.
26.
It's very, very hard to run through the rest at pace. It's very hard to get the top of the white, Ken, isn't it? And of course, when you're queuing with the rest at that speed, you're almost stunning the ball.
Oh, that was a good shot. That was very well cued. Just come a little straight on the black again.
This was a wonderful shot, and he's very, very unlucky. Is it too good? This is awkward.
Could just pot the black and just stun the cue ball just a couple of inches past the spot. He's still got a red to the left centre, but he's screwing back and just makes this pot a little bit more difficult. And he's just been a bit unlucky. He's got a heavy contact. He doesn't want to get too frustrated. He's still in
34.
red to the left centre. Now you see the ball bouncing, the black bouncing.
It can't really do anything else, though, can it, when you're queuing down like that? But obviously, as long as you catch it when it's actually on the bed, you'll still get the desired screw. He obviously caught it halfway up the red. So that wasn't really a kick, it was just the way the balls are bouncing. Now I've got to avoid the brown and green in playing this red into the middle. Through the gap of the brown and green would help. That's nicely played.
35. $39.
Purposely played to
40.
hold that red, and rather than risk going in and out of balk and not getting on anything, at least now he's perfect on the yellow and can finish on the red to the right of the pink without too many problems.
$42. $43.
There's Father Steve, Brother Jack. I'm sure a couple of shots, gentlemen. Your man's going to win this frame. Well, you'd expect them to look very, very nervous, and
50.
must be such a pleasure for Steve to watch his son playing here at the Crucible. He's going to need one more red. Now he's got
51.
the perfect angle here on the black, and it's a pack you don't want to. Oh, he can play the pink, can he? Oh, maybe there's a red in the middle that pots. Just let's see if he maybe in the corner as well. So the top red of that, well, it doesn't look like it pots in the corner. It looks like it definitely pots in the middle. So black, red colour. I mean, Judd obviously knows it's going to arc when you're playing with topspin, and you misjudge that.
58.
Just keep an eye on the white here. There's the arc, you see.
Well, he was looking at a possibility of a plant here. He's going to have to make them. I don't think they're dead set, so there you see it's going to the left hand side of the pocket, and possibly up the cushion a little bit, so this is not, and it's a little bit dangerous playing that because he doesn't want to bring all the reds into open play. Maybe worth just taking this red on, even though it's very, very difficult. Where's it going? In the middle? Will it go in the middle? Will it reach? That's made them happy. What a fluke that was.
Oh, fluke number 3 today, but I don't think this one is going to be as valuable. Well, obviously it would have been valuable because the red would have stayed on the hole. Judd Trump would have left the red on the middle, but just barely got there, didn't it? And bar for gravity, I don't think it would have gone in. 65 in front, so just making sure of the yellow to go 67 in front with 67 on. Now he could risk the plant if he wants.
61. Judd Trump.
Good safety shot though, so Judd has made his highest break for some 10 frames. It's the first very, very high scoring contribution for quite some time, and you would expect him to win the frame from here now. Stop the rot.
There you see the match time, just over the 6-hour mark. Well, it was worth having a go. Ding, he had a chance to get on the black. It was the only red he could leave, was the red he tried, so it's going to cost him the frame. Mighty relieved, Judd Trump and his supporters here. He stopped the rot.
Well, I think he should definitely take this brown on, because if he plays the snooker, Ding might carry on. Might carry on.
Judd Trump won.
He is carrying on. Now, if he'd played the pot the brown, he would have naturally been on the red at the back of the pack. And I don't think at this minute in time Judd wants to be playing a frame where he's being messed around. He's just got his cueing arm going, got a little bit of confidence. May have missed a trick there, not potting the brown. Well, if this red pots, it's made no difference. I just didn't want him to get involved in a protracted bout of safety.
1. Eight. 9.
Well, he won't be worried about the black.
9
But he'll be very happy and stopping the rot. But it's Ding Junhui who still leads 10 frames to 8.
So Judd Trump is off the mark this evening. And Steve, how important is that for his frame of mind tonight?
Well, I think it's very important that he got early on some sort of form back again. I think that we were expecting him to, he's had a bit of practice on the practice tables beforehand, but even so, to win a frame quite quickly, to respond to Ding Junhui was quite nice.
John, sometimes people say, well, it's good to get that frame because it restores the belief, but you get the feeling with Judd Trump, the belief is always there.
Yeah, I think Willie made an important point on the commentary there, saying it's nice if you can win it in one visit as well. That's great. I mean, the scoreboard changes a heck of a lot quicker if you can win it and restores your confidence, really. So, well done to him. He's got one back on the board, but he'd like this one.
Yeah, quite right, John. It's a very big frame, isn't it, for Judd Trump, because there's obviously only 2 frames before the mid-session interval. If he wins this one, he knows that at least he's shared the first 4. Doesn't have to start worrying about going even further behind in the match. Well, I don't blame him at all for playing the cannon there, because it was a red at distance that you could fancy him potting, and at least he played it at a speed where he was obviously trying to get onto the black. Very unlucky. If he catches the black the red a little thicker, he'd have probably pushed through the red and got onto the black. As it is now, it's not easy to get back into baulk, so he's just screwing back for the top cushion.
This is dangerous. He could push a red over one of the middle pockets here and leave Ding a... He's played it okay. It's not too bad.
Trying to cover the red that's right over the corner pocket, and I think he can do that with the blue and green, but didn't appear to want to play the one on the right hand side, so he's just clearing the pocket, playing around the back of the red into baulk. And as this afternoon or the morning session, both players hit the baulk colours on numerous occasions. Very rarely do you see John Higgins or Mark Williams hit the baulk colours.
Now we might get to see an example of this young boy's cue power yet again. Red's gone close again, but just have a look at where he's got the cue ball from that position. Is quite incredible.
He's played about 10 of those shots in the last couple of days. Surely his tip's going to start to harden up, really, I think. And he's having a little look at his tip there, but he's okay. Three excellent safety shots on the trot here, and this one's even more difficult. I'm not too sure whether he can get back into the baulk area. He can hit the edge of the pack, but of course the red on the right hand side is a problem. That's a little bit careless, Ding, not finding the top cushion. The red passes the blue into the corner, and I think in fairness he'll probably take this on. Doesn't fancy it. It's a very easy safety shot off the red nearest the cushion, him behind the brown, but I fancied him taking the one on just to the right of the pink, which he's now doing. Well, at least I thought he was. Maybe he feels like opening the reds with his safety is going to help. I mean, obviously now he's cueing a little better. Probably wants the balls in open play.
May have to play another containing safety. Oh, well, I think he can get through to this left, the red down the left-hand side. He's just afraid of catching one of the reds on the way down. Still shouldn't be a problem if he drops the cue ball onto this black cushion, as we call it. This is a possibility. He can go off that red that he's closest to, side cushion, and put the cue ball up beside the green, but he's got to be careful playing this. He's got to block that red over the middle with the green. It's in a similar position, and that's pretty good. Excellent shot. Well judged. Bit of pressure on that shot.
It was certainly the most risky of the two choices, Ken, wasn't it? Your choice, he couldn't leave that red on that you were talking about, but that way he could, but he played it perfectly. Now, the three reds just below the pink, the outside one very, very thin. He'll get round the back of all these other reds and back into port, but if he just catches it slightly wrong, one of those three reds on the left-hand side could be cannoned and the whites stay in the middle of the table, so very dangerous if he plays it. But he knows it's on, so he's looking like he wants to play it. And it looks like he's taking it on, so this has got to be hit nicely. If he catches it slightly thick, he could cannon one of the reds on the left-hand side. Oh, just decided to play the old dump shot. Don't want to risk anything at the moment.
This looks like it's gone a little bit astray. Well, he's left the red, but it's very difficult. He won't be taking this red on. Again. He's in a difficult position here. Gotta hit this perfectly. Gotta go through the gap. Two reds here on the left-hand side of the table.
It's amazing, Ken, how he risked playing that shot there from tight under the cushion and refused to play at the time before when he can get his hand on the table.
There's the cue ball.
One.
It's not too bad. Chance of the brown at the left centre. A lot of pressure on this shot though, but he'd be buoyed by the fact that he made a nice break in the last frame. Excellent pot. Oh, that's very unlucky. Of all the places
in all the world to finish
there.
Well, that is incredible, isn't it?
Touch and go.
The thing is, he concentrated so hard on the brown because it knew it was a pressure pot and didn't even consider finishing. I mean, that wouldn't have been anywhere near in his mind. He's just playing in an area there for choice of red, and it's amazing how it's finished there.
Well, an inch either side of that red and he would have been on something. That's unlucky.
Judd, turn 5.
Well, there's no easy path back into baulk, and a couple of times he's played to leave the cue ball at this end of the table. Just looking for a way he can do that, and I can't see that at first glance. So just coming up to 50 seconds shot time, and there may be a few more seconds to come on this one. This is tough. Is there anything potable anywhere? Sometimes you get forced into playing a pot.
I'm not quite sure, Willie, if you can see that red just to the right. Second one down, if you can get a lot of left-hand side spin on that, just clip it off the top cushion onto the side cushion and back up the table. It looks like it's the only possible shot I can see. I'd love to get the cue ball on this bottom cushion as we look down around the black spot. Try and cover the reds into both middle pockets, but it's very, very dangerous, not straightforward. I think if you can just see that second red down on the right hand cushion. There, you can just clip the outside. It's very difficult.
I think this is probably the longest time Ding's ever took over a shot, and that just shows you how much trouble he's in. And the reds are obviously in a perfect position for a sizable break, so this is a very important part of this frame. He's just going to play the first red, not Ken's red, the first one, and try and do a Judd Trump and screw back into baulk. Does he have the cue power? No, he doesn't.
What happened?
Well,
That'll be a
Michaela,
foul then.
Michaela was looking at the cue ball, didn't notice the pink had gone into the centre.
Judd trumps it.
Only her assistant referee next to the press box told her.
Yes, it was interesting. Michaela very rarely makes a mistake, and that shot there from Judd Trump has given him a chance to win this frame as well. Beautifully controlled that. I think in fairness this morning he was over-hitting a lot of balls and not playing with his normal confidence. Tonight he appears to have got his confidence back.
8.
And with the 61 in the previous frame, you'd expect that kind of break
9.
to come from this position.
$16. $17.
Well, under normal circumstances,
24.
you'd have to say this would be pretty straightforward, but certainly these are not normal circumstances. I think Junhui knew the importance of that last safety shot. He was in a lot of trouble.
25.
Took over 2.5 minutes deciding what shot to play because he knew any sort of half chance and the frame may have been gifted.
$30. $31.
This is a good performance from Judd Trump. He's still very, very young. But I think a couple of weeks ago when he won that tournament over in China and beaten a very experienced player in the final, Mark Selby, done his confidence a
37.
world of good coming into this championship. Although he
38.
looked very shaky this morning, these last couple of frames will certainly settle him down.
$43.
I don't know which part of his friends or family or management team spent a couple of hours with him this afternoon, but they've certainly done a good job, because honestly he just looked like a fish out of water in this morning's session. Maybe suddenly realised what he was doing and what he was achieving here at the Crucible. One of the youngest players to have got to the final, should he have done it.
49.
All those kind of things suddenly got on top of him this morning. Didn't play 10% of the way he had been
50.
playing, but tonight he looks to be back to normal.
Yes, and 62 points ahead. Pink will put him 68 ahead with only 67 remaining, so frame ball. Good shot.
56. Thank you. 57.
It's amazing, isn't it? 6 frames on the trot, couldn't make a 30. And then he's gone 61, 57 and counting. One thing that shows us is what a lovely temperament this young man's got.
64. $65.
Yes, and if anybody was questioning how Judd Trump would react when he had a bad session, well, here's your answer. Great response. Well, he's missed the red, but he won't be worried. He's got another frame back, and now he closes the gap. He's only 1 behind, but it's Junhui who still leads by 10 frames to 9.
Well, this is the response that we wanted from Judd Trump. Now the match is back on once again, Steve, and a tremendous break.
Yes, fantastic from Judd Trump. It's really good to see him out there. All of a sudden showed a bit of character, and after Junhui had missed the long screw back, and then all of a sudden a bit of humour in the room, then all of a sudden Judd Trump was left with a very, very gettable red. But it was a very big red in the context of this particular session. Didn't he pot it well, John?
Fabulous. And controlled it beautifully, come round the angles, perfect on the black. And both of us said at the same time, that could be a really big shot in the context of the game.
Willie's on fire tonight. He's making great points all the time. He was saying whoever has helped Judd Trump tonight needs a pat on the back because they've got him focused again, haven't they?
Yeah, it may also be down to the lad himself, you know. You can do things yourself as well. You can. It's great to talk with people, but at the end of the day, he's the one got to knock the balls in. He's the one at the end of the queue, so maybe he's, we're underdoing his credit in it as well there.
And now we've got the situation where the great front runner, Ding, is having Judd Trump breathing down his neck, and he's under pressure now.
Well, we saw in the first session that Judd Trump, to some degree, unnerved Ding because of the flamboyant way he played. And if all of a sudden the crowd get behind Judd Trump, then you never know.
I said before as well, Rich, if he could win 2 out of the next 3 frames, great. Well, he's won the first 2. He's got a bite of the cherry here to get level.
Well, this is the last frame before the mid-session interval, and a very important one it is. Of course, these semi-finals are over slightly longer than the previous matches that were over the best of 25. But we've got a pulse question for you. Should the Crucible semis be decided over less frames than what we're playing now, 33? Yes or no? Vote on bbc.co.uk/snooker and click on pulse and say yes or no. This is the miss from Ding, which I must admit, if he'd won 2 of the first 3 frames, he would have potted that. It just shows you all of a sudden your mindset is slightly different when your opponent has suddenly gone 61-71, 2 frames on the trot.
1.
So yeah, great angle of that particular shot into the centre pocket. Perfectly on this red.
6.
And all of a sudden, Kenny's got the pace. I mean, this morning's session, honestly, he was overrunning balls by a foot, underrunning them by a
7.
foot. He just wasn't at the races.
Yes, I think sometimes during this World Championship
14.
players always seem to have one bad session. The beauty about this semi-final, of course,
15.
it's first to 17, so we do have time to regroup. Nothing straightforward this time. Red
22.
to right centre. Possibility of a plant he's just had a quick look at. Certainly red into green pocket as well. Now it is to a plant if they are. Not really. Has to make it.
And if he did take it on, he can obviously get on the black, and they're just far enough apart to leave that as an option, but he doesn't feel he even fancies playing it because he'd be leaving red in the middle. Just having another look now. I mean, the way he can stun the white would come down towards the black, and if he could guarantee not leaving anything in the middle, he'd take it on, but he's not playing it.
Judd Trump, 22.
Well, he was up almost immediately when he hit that towards the middle pocket. If we get a look, just have a look at his. Almost went in, didn't it? Yeah, he was up off it immediately. Knew the minute he struck it, it wasn't going in.
Well, we asked you the question whether the semis should be over less frames. No, 82%, so that's very interesting, isn't it? Best of 25, obviously, in the quarters and the second round, and the public tend to agree, Ken, that this is a good test, and you would accept that the best player would normally win a match over this distance.
Yes, I totally agree. Used to be, as you see, Ding knocked that brown into the middle. What a great shot that was. Yes, it used to be best of first to 16, wasn't it? A few years ago, and then they extended it. A couple more frames, but
6.
I think all the players love playing, and particularly when it's down to one table, but over 4 sessions, it's a true test.
$11.
It's the first time both these players have reached the semi-finals and experienced this one table setup.
$12.
And there you see it, beautiful Crucible theatre here, packed. And how much these crowds have loved it.
The only thing that surprises me about this year's championship, Ken, the high break is still at 138.
Normally it's not around the 140s, if not. We hadn't had too many chances of maximums. Sullivan had a chance, Graham Dodd had a chance, Mark Allen had a chance, but not even a 140. It's quite surprising, but still a long way to go. It's funny, when you reach the semi-finals, you're still only halfway.
Yes, you'd like to wager that 138 would be beaten, of course, but hasn't as yet. And
80.
this is a massive frame, I think, for Ding, really. He'd be pretty happy now, obviously, sharing the first 4 frames. Well, just looking at... There's not much room between the two reds. He's still going to play on the black, possibly in the opposite pocket to what he's playing the red in. And he's played it well.
19.
Played it nicely. That was a lovely shot. Ding's certainly the more careful break builder of the two players. Judd tends to play a little bit more aggressive when he's in the balls. Ding Junhui plays the same way as Hendry, O'Sullivan, Williams, Higgins. Splits them when they need splitting. Plays attacking
26.
shots when they need to, but he times that situation a little better than Judd at the moment. I think Judd sometimes is not... He's fantastic break builder, don't get me wrong, fantastic. But sometimes his shot selection, I still think it's a little raw.
27.
Well, that wasn't the best shot the Ding has ever played. I wanted to stun up for past the blue there. Just didn't get into it enough. Now we see it again. Mistimed that completely. Good recovery. Excellent recovery.
$32.
Never touched the sides. Now he needs a good angle when potting this red. No more loose reds after this one, so needs a good angle on the black.
33.
Looks just okay. May have to force the black in a little bit. would have loved to have been another couple of inches towards this bottom cushion, but it's still... Well, he's coming off the side cushion. Needs a lot of top spin. Excellent shot.
Yes, he's not on the one
40.
nearest the pink, but he's certainly on the other two that I think he can get through to the middle one of those. The middle of those three at the back of the pack there. They can get through to the first one, so he's on both. And he can stun through the reds for the black, so this is definitely until that shot.
41.
Lost the cue ball there. That was very careless. He's got to play another cannon now. This was straightforward. He just played a little stun through the gap and didn't hit it low enough. So another kiss required now to keep this break going. Now, how is he? Not perfect on the one in the middle. He's on it in the middle, but once again he's going to be cannon into a red.
Sure. 48.
So not guaranteed to get good position. Judd Trump still has a little bit of hope in this frame. He trails by 26 points. He knows if this goes right, he's had to play 3 shots on the trot where he's cannon into balls. This time, couldn't have played it better. That was a beautiful shot. I mean, using that particular red to screw off was very clever. So 34 points in front, needs at least 2 reds.
56. 57.
This has been a wonderful session, hasn't it? I know we haven't had any massive breaks, but we had 64 from Ding, 61, 71 from Judd Trump, and then this 60 plus break and counting from Ding Junhui. So virtually every one of the 4 frames have been won in one visit. So very, very good snooker.
64.
One more red required, and as you can see, it's not straightforward. This was the red that Judd missed to the middle, and in fairness, how unlucky is it? It's just hit the jaw and come straight back. If it had hit the jaw and just come out in the middle of the table, the cut wouldn't have been on. That was game ball, well, virtually game ball. 43 in front, 43 on, but you wouldn't expect him to miss the blue.
$70. 71. 77.
Well, the frame beyond any reasonable doubt, so he'll endeavour to try and pot this for a century. It's not there, but that was a wonderful 4 frames of snooker. Both players will be slightly disappointed they haven't won the session 3-1. Judd Trump shared the first 4, but he still trails by 2 frames at 11-9.
Well, you heard the boys saying in commentary there, that was a wonderful session of snooker. The most important thing, I suppose, for Judd Trump's perspective, Steve, is that he didn't lose that little mini session.
Yeah, I think he'll be quite happy at the interval, and also his fans and friend and family will be in that position as well. So hopefully push on after the interval, and that's the mini session salvaged 2-all.
And Ding strikes back right at the end.
Yeah, struck the ball lovely in there. Already that's a marked increase in the standard this morning. I mean, the other semi-final we were talking about was absolutely brilliant, and the standard was very high, more so than this morning, but this one's gone up another level, and it's very good this evening.
OK, who would be feeling better at the end of that little session? Would Trump be feeling better because he's got back into the match?
Well, possibly, but I think if you were one of the possible million people, at least watching over in China, you'd be quite happy with your man. You'd be slightly aggrieved how much bad luck he's been getting. A lot of big flukes for Judd Trump, but you'd be thinking, well, he's got the lead. He looks comfortable. So I would imagine that's how everybody feels.
Yeah, it's one of those funny little sessions where there's something for both players, isn't it? Ding's kept his lead, but Judd's re-established himself in the match. You know, he could have been seeing Ding sailing away there, but there's a little bit for both of them there.
Okay, there's lots to play for. It's currently 11-9 to Ding Junhui. He held a 2-frame advantage at the start of the session, and he still maintains it.
Well, but what we do know about these two semi-finals, arguably we've got the 4 best informed players currently playing the game, and it is interesting how they've all got to the semi-finals. You can make a case for every one of them winning it.
Okay, well, we're going to switch our attention back to Ding Junhui against Judd Trump, and let's find out one of the men who've played an important part in the role of Judd Trump's success. He's with John Parrott.
Yes, down in the practice room, and it's Django who looks after
John,
Judd.
right?
And, yeah, great. Your boy's doing a great job, isn't he?
Oh yeah, I think in the last couple of weeks he did a fantastic job, and he brought the success that he had in China, and he brought it to the Crucible in the last 2 weeks. He had a lot of fans following him. Just now when we went out, you know, everyone wishing him all the best. Whatever happened, I think he'll have a great experience in the next 2 weeks.
Absolutely. Now, we had a sticky session this morning. Did you talk much about that afterwards? Or?
Well, we try not to talk about it too much. I mean, he seems to, you know, bash everyone out in the last 3 or 4 matches, and he had a bad session, you know. And even it's a bad session in his standard, but he didn't play that bad, you know. He missed a couple of balls.
Is he someone who likes to talk about the sessions much, or does he just want to do his own thing?
He wanted to do his own thing. He said, let's go to have lunch. So we had lunch, and he just chilled for the afternoon. We had a little sleep, and then we come back and practice and start again.
So how do you see the rest of it going then?
Yeah, well, I mean, Judd actually answered a lot of, you know, a question been asked him. What happened after you had a bad session, where he come back fighting, as you can see tonight. He won 2 good frames. And don't forget, you know, you're playing Ding. He's a class act. He's a great player. So hope that there's going to be a lot more great snooker coming up tonight.
And whatever happens, it's a fantastic experience.
Definitely,
for him. He'll be here for a long time to come, won't he?
I hope so, yeah.
Okay, well, good luck.
Thank you.
Well, Judd Trump may be centre stage of the Crucible now, but the cameras have spotted his talent some time ago. From an early age, the young lad from Bristol has been in the snooker spotlight. He honed his skills at Keynsham Snooker Hall, just a long pot away from where England cricketer Marcus Trescothick played for Keynsham Cricket Club. He won the English Under-13 and English Under-15 Championship, and he reached the World Under-21 Championship semi-finals at the tender age of 14. And at the same age, he also became the youngest player to 147, beating Ronnie O'Sullivan's record, of course. The hair, of course, may have got a little longer, and he may have got a little taller, but the style remains the same, determination as well. And he obviously had lots of snooker power since then, Steve.
Yes, yes, and you could tell, I think we all knew as a junior he was going to be very good. You never do know until it comes to fruition, but he really is turning on the power.
Well, this is a very important moment now for Judd Trump. He's already proven that he can handle the pressure. A lot of people question whether he would or not when Ding Junhui won, what was it, 6 frames in a row. But Judd Trump showed in that first mini session that he's ready for the fight. 11-9 to Ding. Willie and Ken standing by.
Thank you, Rishi. Welcome back, everybody. Yes, a fascinating match we have still in prospect. Questions were asked about this young man, but he certainly answered them. Settled back down. Had a bit of a rocky spell this morning, but settled back to his normal self this evening. Just didn't get enough side spin on that. Got the blue, and now a half chance for Ding Junhui. relatively straightforward pot, you would have thought, for Junhui, but he's been very fortunate. That red could have been left over this bottom right hand corner pocket. Another loose safety shot from Judd Trump.
This is undoubtedly the biggest mini session that Judd's ever played, this 4 frames. He needs to, worst way, come out 2 each. He'd obviously love to, you can't ever expect to win all 4. He'd love to come out 3-1, which means obviously he'll level at 12-12. Any other result, it could be a little bit too much to do, so these next 4 frames could mean a lot in the life of Judd Trump. Now, amazingly enough, he could play this plant as a shot to nothing because he'd virtually have to hit it full ball. And of course that means he can't double kiss because the red he's hitting first will go away to the left. If he gets the plant, that's fine, and he can run through back into balk. But he's not even looked at it, so he doesn't fancy it. That got a little bit of flyer off the cushion, but that was a nice jaw of the middle pocket as well. Very good safety shot, given the benefit of the doubt there for the jaw, but it was an excellent safety. Well, he's played 3 or 4 excellent safety shots. I wasn't aware whether either of these 2 players went into the practice room at the mid-session interval, but they've both hit some wonderful safety in the first part of this frame. I've just been told in my ear that Ding went into the practice room to have 10 minutes. Ding went straight to his dressing room.
Thank you.
Yeah, sometimes the players do let the referee just have a look at the shot that they have, just so should he miss it, that the referee exactly knows what position the cue ball was in. And he, as you can see, he can just about see the outside of this red. He's missed it.
Fail and a miss.
Yes, a miss will be called, and I'm sure Judd Trump will put him back into the same position. It was very tight. We might get down the line again and just see exactly the same position. Can only hit the outside. It just has to come a little bit more to the left. Tiny little bit more to the left, and should be. That's it.
Do you want to have a check in it? Do you want...
Michaela just asked them.
Can you have a look?
Want to have a look?
Okay, thank you. Judd?
That was interesting. Michaela just asked the referee to be honest with her. Obviously it was really essential to make sure he's in exactly the right place there, because either he could see them or he couldn't. He decided to play the jaws this time. This is a little trick shot, playing off the jaws and try and go into the 3 reds that are at this end of the table. Now if the white rolls off, it might go in off.
Fail and a miss. Judd Trump for.
If it's an easy pot on, he might take it on. If there's not, he'll have it replaced.
Well, if this top red does go into the left-hand corner pocket, it's certainly plenty of value in taking it on. He could go up for blue, and as long as he keeps down this right-hand side of the table, he won't be leaving anything. Good pot. Just over around the cue ball. Just would have loved a little contact on the green there to hold for the blue, but I might see him tuck him up behind the green here.
Judd Trump 1.
The shot to the last one. He's playing for the 2 reds at this end. Doesn't want that cue ball to go by it. Similar shot, only not as easy this one. He can still play the pot into the corner, but this is not as easy as the previous one. He may have to play this as a shot to nothing if he takes it on and play in between green and blue and get on that baulk cushion. The kiss has come to his rescue this time.
Yes, he's going to have to use the rest, and again we're going to have to see an example of a lot of top spin here to get back down for these reds.
I spoke in commentary a little early on, Ken. Whenever you're using the rest, it's so hard, isn't it, to follow through with topspin. It just you're a lot better off trying to reach, especially with Judd. As you see, it bounced and took a lot of pace out of the cue ball. Judd being a very good player right-handed, if he could have reached that, he'd have been a lot better playing it, but he couldn't reach it.
Judd Trump 6.
Well, there's his look. It's just gone past the yellow. Yeah, that would test anybody's cue, and it's almost dead straight. Not quite sure whether he can just force an angle off this, or he's going to have to deep screw, but this is not straightforward. Well played. Well, he's done well to get the cue ball to there. He's going to require another pressure blue here into the yellow pocket.
Didn't get the fizz that Judd Trump gets off that last screw shot, did he? But it's a little unlucky to kiss the black the way it did. He'd like to come by the black and have the choice of black or the blue. And he has the choice of the blue now if he wants to continue the break. If this was practice, this would almost be a certainty.
Six. Seven.
Yeah, wrong side of the blue, so a little bit careless. We had a nice angle on that red.
Twelve.
That just shows you how important it is to get top side of the blue. Ken mentioned how careless he was not to get top side. Had to leave that red at distance. Okay, it was a red you'd expect him to pot, but when you're screwing back at pace, any sort of unwanted side pushes the cue ball. That's what happened there.
1.
A little bit higher would have played the cannon off the blue into the pink, but it's a little bit thin. There's still plenty of value playing the cannon off the yellow. Okay, there's plenty of loose reds, but you need the pink in play where the balls are. And it's the perfect angle now to play it if he wishes. Didn't play it. May regret that in a couple of shots' time.
3. Four.
That's what happens when you make sure that you go top side of the blue. Sometimes you can completely mishit it.
Much appreciated by the crowd, and quite rightly, that was an excellent shot. Perfectly on this red. Back up for blue,
10.
must be top side. Just about.
This is why you always see Ronnie or Hendry always, when you've got the option, regardless of how early it is a break, you've got an option to bring balls into play, they play it. And you can see how now Judd's having to work really hard to keep this break going. So until he gets that pink into play, this is not a chance to win the frame at one visit.
Now, nice angle on the blue. I think you might take your option here, Willie. And it doesn't have to go into this pink and reds too hard. Just medium pace, because we'll certainly be on one or two of the reds, left or right of the pink. And it's perfect. Yeah, well done. I think he's on this bottom red. If he is on it a little bit straight.
This is also on the one in the middle, which is a little bit of a bruisey bonus.
22. $28. 29. 35. 36. 42.
There you see, 45 ahead, 59 remaining, so red and pink would be enough to leave Ding needing a snooker.
$43.
Judge that nicely. 51 ahead, so just the red now.
48.
This has been a tremendous break. missed the beat there as the pink went dangerously close to the left middle, and his family up in the balcony are pretty pleased with the way he's played tonight. Great response from
54.
Judd Trump.
$55.
We'll see. Here comes the pink. You can imagine the way this cue ball is going to go. Hold on to your hats out there.
I think Ding could be in trouble here. I thought he was going to screw it direct, but he used the cushion. And what about this for a position shot? Overran it by 3 inches, finished straight.
It was careless, Willie, wasn't it?
Judd Trump,
Well,
61.
Ding is going to stay in his chair. He's not bothering coming back, and Judd Trump claws another one back. He only trails by 1 now, and it's Junhui who leads by 11 frames to 10.
Well, John, you said earlier, the best session of snooker that you saw between Williams and Higgins so far this tournament. This is going to start running it very close, isn't it?
It's bubbling up nicely, and we were asking the question what the young man had in the locker. I think we're finding the answer. He looks very comfortable again out there after the sticky session this morning. He's back on an even keel, and he's looking very good.
Do we have a player here, Steve, who worked out that this is the World Championship, the biggest thing he's ever been involved in, and has accepted it and has taken the challenge up now?
Well, we certainly have a player who sort of seems to be able to cope with the situation. He's 21 years old. If he did win the World Championship, I was talking to Stephen Hendry when he was in the studio, he wouldn't be the youngest ever winner because Stephen won it at that age. Yeah. So, therefore, it's not beyond the realms of possibility. You know, we're looking at him as a very young player. Yeah. When you look back, a lot of players have matured around this age, somewhere near this, but he just seems young to come on the circuit. It's just the way he acts, and some of the shots he's playing, I think it shows the exuberance of youth, and for me it's a breath of fresh air, really.
Actually, I was listening to you chatting the other day, and you were talking about the graphs that players sometimes plot, and they sometimes go steady, and then all of a sudden one goes steady and then he just takes off overnight for no particular reason. Judd Trump may have, because of that first moment of pressure from Junhui, grown up.
Yes, and yeah, he does look like he's jumped up a level, and it would be interesting that, you know, if he did go on to win the World Championship, all of a sudden shot selection would become a big issue in the game. What would we all decide on what's the correct shot to play?
Well, listen, Stephen Hendry changed it anyway, to be perfectly honest with you. Steve was always the benchmark for the way you play the game, and Stephen came and smashed the balls everywhere and said, I'm going to pop more than you. The thing with this boy, which is impressing me, hits the ball quite firmly as well. You've got to be accurate on these tables because these pockets are tight.
Oh, Ding, every time he stamps a little bit of authority on the game, Judd at the minute is coming straight back at him. There's been a 6-3 above in 5 frames on the trot. So the standard has absolutely eclipsed the morning session. A little unlucky. Didn't quite get into the cue ball now. Do you risk this black? Probably not at this stage of the game. He knows he only really needs to definitely win one more to... I mean, when he lost the first session 5-3, he'd have loved to have gone into the last session tomorrow at least level. So that's why he's not risking anything like the black.
Junhui, 1.
He's played some good safety this evening, Judd. He's honestly played more good safety in the first 5 frames this evening than he did in the whole morning session. Really struggled in all departments this morning. He's back to his best this evening.
Foul and a miss. Judd trump 4.
Wow, what a mistake this is. The red next to the pink must pot. There it is, the one just below the pink. And he'll be screwing off the pack, so there'll be a few reds moving around here. There's the cue ball. She's okay, it's perfect on the blue. The black's available in the right-hand corner. And very quickly, it'll be available in the left-hand corner. He can play for that red now if he wishes.
Yeah, he's got a nice angle on this blue now. If you can get somewhere near this circle, get on that red, just left of the black, as you said, Willie.
Well, every squirrel finds an acorn now and again, Ken. That was not bad.
Sure. 7.
And just look at how the reds are set up. If he was in his club back in Romford, the Grove, practicing, this is probably how he'd set the reds up around the pink and black, as most players would. Just a series of little soft stuns, screws, follow throughs, just in around the black, just controlling the white, and any budding professional.
14.
Just watch the way he controls his cue ball in around the black spot.
50.
That opening red, Willie, with the rest was couldn't have hit it any sweeter, could he? Just got right side of the blue.
22.
Didn't disturb the black.
But you'll have to question Judd's escape from the snooker off one cushion.
Yeah, could you please turn your earpieces down? Thank you.
Yeah, Ding misjudged the first safety.
23.
Now, there's no need to do anything at all. The two reds to the extreme left of the pack, the ones parallel with the pink, just play a little slow cannon into those. That's perfect. I must admit, I like Judd's break build a lot better when he's playing at this kind of pace rather than when he's over-hitting balls. He looks a lot more in control this evening than he was in this morning's session.
31.
Yes, he's great to watch, isn't he? When he's quick, aggressive, plenty of cue power, likes to express himself as well. Played a lot of exhibition shots in every match that he's played.
38.
Great to see. And he seems to be enjoying himself as well. It's a big key, isn't it?
39.
Come out with a smile on his face every match, every session.
Yes, he certainly wasn't enjoying it this morning, but he seems to have weathered the storm. And whatever happens, as long as he wins this frame, which he looks like doing now, the worst thing that could happen, he could only be 2 frames behind going into tonight. It's not beyond the realms of possibility the way he's playing. He could be back 2 frames in front. He's already won 3 frames this evening. This will be his 4th. So 1 more and we're guaranteed to be level 54. Going into the final session. 2 more and he'll be 2 in front.
$55.
The standard tonight has been awesome, hasn't it? 360 breaks, 270 breaks. Looks like another 60 plus here at least. So virtually every frame's been won at one visit this evening. This morning there was 3 or 4 chances of frame.
62.
Yes, a little grimace, shake of the head. Probably about 6 inches short of where he'd like to be. Still should pot this red, but he's potting it into a blind pocket. He's going into the pink. This could go wrong. He's got it. Where's the white?
63.
It's not over yet, this frame.
The fact that he's 66 in front is entitled to have a go at either the green or the brown in the middle. I would suggest probably playing the brown in the middle. You don't need to get onto a colour, just pot the brown, and then you've got the white tight on the cushion if you miss it. Playing the blue is a little bit tricky. I'm not saying it's the right, it's the wrong shot. If you fancy potting it, pot it, but if you miss it, you give your opponent a chance. But he is purely the best player I've ever seen off the cushion. He's potted some balls off the cushion. That was very dangerous.
68.
Probably the best player I've seen off the cushion since John Parrott used to be at his plum. I used to finish on the cushion all the time. Whatever happens, we know we're going to be in for a fantastic final session in this match now. Still a possibility that either player can obviously go too clear, but that's not enough to sleep well
71.
overnight. We're in for a classic match.
72.
He's already
78.
had 4 centuries in this tournament so far. And we've had 64 in the tournament overall. Can we say another?
$86. 87. 94.
'Great shot.
95.
And how much this Crucible crowd love a century break.
Well played. Good shot. His family are absolutely delighted. Judd Trump playing very well now, and he levels again at 11-all.
Well, a lot of questions were asked about how Trump would respond when he first came under pressure. The answer is with style, class, and the 64th century of the tournament. Frame 23 next. Ding at the table.
Trump special here. Just didn't get top side of the blue, may have to take the more difficult pink on. Securing the ball extremely well.
Just as he's potted this pink in the side of the pocket rather than in the middle, that's just took the position side away a little bit. He's on this red, but he can't screw directly into the red to the left of the black without hitting the black. Now, if he decides to play the kiss on the black and knock the black on and off the cushion, He's going to have to hit this just right.
7.
Because he's not bound to get on the black. Another 2 inches further down, it would have been absolutely straightforward to just screw into the red. Oh, he's played that pretty good. Played it pretty good. Hit the black on and off the cushion.
$15. $16. $21. $22.
Hit those very well. Unlucky not to have an easier red than he has. I'm sure the top one will possibly pot into the
27.
corner. There you can see it just goes. And that was nice. A lot of players may have tried a hole for the blue, but Judd likes to punch balls into the pocket. So he purposely played for baulk colour. A lot of players just kind of float this shot in to play for the blue, but I agree with Judd. Now he's got himself cueing well. He seems to be almost the harder he hits them, the better he plays.
$32. $33.
It's so nice when you get in this mood, Ken, isn't it, where you just don't fancy missing a ball. And that's the mood that Judd's in at the moment. Pockets are looking like dustbins, and you feel if it, as long as he doesn't finish touching ball or something like that, which may have happened there, you can't see him missing. It's a little bit
38.
careless. He had a big gap to get in.
Yes, and he may be very lucky. I think red does pot into the bottom left-hand corner pocket. He wanted to be on one of these reds into the bottom right-hand corner pocket, but he's just pushed the red far enough down to leave this red into the left-hand corner pocket, and that's very fortunate. This is the big shot in the frame, isn't it? If he just pots this, holds the cue ball for the black into the left-hand corner pocket, this could be the frame-winning shot just right here.
45.
Well played. Stayed down on it, didn't he? Made absolutely sure. This could be back-to-back centuries, but the key thing here is to just get past 73 points in front. Then he'll worry about a century. He's played awesome this evening. Really, I've been more impressed with Judd after what happened this morning in this session than I have in the whole tournament, where he's played better in a couple of his other matches.
52.
But I think tonight this was a real test for Judd Trump, and I think he's come through with flying colours.
Yes, his previous 2 matches, he hasn't really been tested, but he certainly was put through the ringer this morning against Junhui. But he's responded very well tonight.
53.
The year you won the championship, Ken, did you have a bad session?
Good question. Can't remember.
Obviously
So
not,
long
then.
ago.
Yeah. But I mean, usually a player, when he goes on to win the championship, has a bad session. And I was just really trying to ask you, you know, how do you get yourself thinking positive again? That, you know, I think Judd's manager, family have done a wonderful job getting him in the right frame of mind coming out tonight. Just colour and red to be absolutely sure. The blue will put him 66 in front with 67 on, and the red looks a formality. Especially as you can just hold it for the pink. And I'll now be surprised if he doesn't make back-to-back centres.
66. $73. 74.
This could be the 65th century, 64 so far.
81. 82.
And I think in some ways this has been the best century he's made in the match. Never was he out of position in this break.
89.
He knows now he's
90.
bound to go into the final session at least level. What he wanted to do this evening was close that 2-frame gap. He's already done that. He could get a 2-frame gap himself.
27.
Blue for his 6th century at this tournament. 65 for the tournament itself. Well played. Excellent stuff from Judd Trump.
105. 108.
Well, have a look at that for a shot. Well, we would have seen Jimmy White play a lot of those shots here over the years, and this is like the new Jimmy White. So much cue power. He loves the exhibition shots, doesn't he, Will?
My word. My word.
That was an absolutely superb century. A couple of people standing up in the audience. They've witnessed a very great talent here tonight in Judd Trump. His 2nd century of the night, and he goes further clear now, 12-11.
Well, that was the 65th century of this year's World Championship, a quite impressive tally compared to most other years, considering that we still have a substantial amount of snooker still to be played, though we're unlikely to surpass the 2009 total of 83. Well, it's been sensational stuff so far, and I'm sure the Crucible crowd would want this one to go on and on. But there's just one more frame left in this session. Trump at the table, he's trailing by 26 points.
Another good shot.
Well, he's left one of these reds into this bottom right hand corner pocket, but fraught with danger. Maybe forced into having a go at this red. Super shot. And beautiful kiss on the red, the hole for the pink. And I think he deserved that. That was an excellent pot. Such a brave choice of shot. Forced into it, I suppose.
As you said, Ken, I think he deserved a decent kiss, but he was playing it as a shot to nothing to get the white in baulk. So the kiss, in fairness, Judd Trump had a couple of frames this morning session that won him two of the frames he won. And as I said a little earlier, I think 12-12 would just about be fair.
Seven. Eight. 13. 14.
Yes, and I think both of these reds just left of the black spot go into this bottom left hand corner pocket, so plenty of reds available to secure this final frame of the session before he has to contemplate any of the reds that are close to the right hand side of the table.
John Parrott and Steve Davis were eulogising about the match this afternoon between Mark Williams and John Higgins, saying it was one of the best sessions of snooker we've had at the Championship this year. Every frame this evening so far we've had 60 or above, Ken. This could be another one, so we could have had all 8 frames with breaks of 60 or above.
Yes, very high standard. As you said, Willie, I think probably deserves to be all square going into the final session tomorrow
26.
afternoon. Ding may be slightly the more disappointed of the two after holding an
32.
advantage coming into this session, but after seeing his opponent play the way he has done the last few frames, I'm sure he'd be delighted to get out all square.
Yes, absolutely. He would have been very apprehensive about this final frame of the evening session.
3.
But he,
Sure.
he spotted 2 incredible balls, one of which he didn't get nicely on the blue and ended up not winning the frame at that visit. But the other one, okay, he got a good kiss just down the pink, but boy, there was a lot of grit and determination and if he'd have missed it, he'd have probably lost the frame. So that's how important that one was.
Just a round of applause from the Crucible crowd,
39.
acknowledging that was frame ball.
40.
Well, at least Judd's night's work has been done. He's got himself back into the match, and a lot of people would have questioned him this evening, having played so poorly in the morning session where he lost 6-2. But they won't question him
46.
anymore. What a cracking session it will be tomorrow afternoon.
47.
And I think we deserve another 60-plus break in this match. Every frame there's been 60 or above. At least this is 54 and counting, and he's played that very well indeed.
54.
So we are
55.
going to continue the trend. He's had breaks of 64, 77. And now 61, so we've had a 60 above in every frame. Wonderful snooker.
61. 62. 67. 69.
Well, both these players really deserve a warm round of
72.
applause. I'm sure this magnificent Crucible audience will give both players a round of applause, because this has been truly a remarkable session of snooker. Having lost 6 on the trot, Judd then won 5 out of the next 6.
81.
He did what he had to do, Ding, and made sure he won the last, and he's done it in style. Played off the jaws of the middle pocket, he missed the jaws. What a wonderful frame, what a wonderful exhibition of snooker. This Crucible crowd give them a standing ovation. It was excellent. Judd Trump wins the session 5-3, gets back in the match again, and we're all square going to the final session, 12-all.
Well, that was just compelling watching those two youngsters, but now we switch our attention to the other semi-final.